Hi, everybody. Ian McMichael, pastor of Peace Lutheran in Colfax and Trinity Lutheran in Endicott, Washington. And we are beginning a new week, the fourth week of our devotional pandemic faith. Um, and I am mixing things up a little bit this week. I am planning on only doing two devotionals, I think, for one, hopefully for today, and then hopefully for Wednesday. So Monday and Wednesday will be the two devotionals this week, and that's just because we are inching closer to figuring out how in-person worship might work and what needs to happen there, and that requires lots of meetings and preparation and all of these good things to keep people as safe as possible. But it doesn't give me quite as much time to record these, which is a bit of a bummer. So Monday and Wednesday, and we'll go from there, and we'll see how that works. And my reading just went away for the. Oh, there it is. Okay, just kidding. So our reading for today is actually quite long compared to a lot of them. It is Genesis 1:1 through 2:4. So 1:1 through 2:4, the creation story. In the beginning, when God created the heavens and the earth was a formless void, and darkness covered the face of the deep, while a wind from God swept over the face of the waters. Then God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. And God saw that the light was good. And God separated the light from the darkness. God called the light day, and the darkness he called night. And there was evening and there was morning the first day. And God said, "Let there be a dome in the midst of the waters, and let it separate the waters from the waters." So God made the dome and separated the waters from where under the dome that were under the dome from the waters that were above the dome. And it was so. God called the dome sky. And there was evening and there was morning the second day. And God said, "Let the waters under the sky be gathered together into one place, and let the dry land appear." And it was so. God called the dry land earth, and the waters that were gathered together he called seas. And God said that it was good. Then God said, Let the earth put forth vegetation, plants yielding seeds, fruit trees of every kind on earth that bear fruit with seed in it." And it was so. The earth brought forth vegetation, plants yielding seeds of every kind, and trees of every kind bearing fruit with the seed in it. And God saw that it was good. And there was evening and there was morning the third day. And God said, "Let there be lights in the dome of the sky to separate the day from the night, and let them be for signs for seasons, and for days and years, and let them be lights in the dome of the sky to give light upon the earth." And it was so. God made the two great lights, the greater light to rule the day, and the lesser light to rule the night, and the stars. God set them in the dome of the sky to give light upon the earth, to rule over the day and over the night, and to separate the light from the darkness. And God saw that it was good. And there was evening and there was morning the fourth day. And God said, "Let the waters bring forth swarms of living creatures, and let the birds fly above the earth across the dome of the sky." So God created the great sea monsters and every living creature that moves of every kind, with which the waters swarm, and every winged bird of every kind. And God saw that it was good. God blessed them, saying, "Be fruitful and multiply, and fill the waters and the seas, and let the birds multiply on earth." And there was evening and there was morning the fifth day. And God said, "Let the earth bring forth living creatures of every kind, cattle and creeping things and wild animals of the earth of every kind." And it was so. God made the wild animals of the earth of every kind, and the cattle of every kind, and everything that creeps upon the ground of every kind. And God saw that it was good. Then God said, "Let us make humankind in our image, according to our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish in the sea, over the birds of the air, and over the cattle, and over the wild things of the earth, and over every creeping thing that creeps upon the earth." So God created humankind in his image. In the image of God he created them, male and female he created them. God blessed them, and God said to them, "Be fruitful and multiply, and fill the earth and subdue it, and have dominion over the fish in the seas, and over the birds of the air, and over every living thing that moves on earth." God said, "See, I have given you every plant yielding seed that is upon the face of the earth, and every tree with seed in its fruit, and you shall have them for food. And to every beast of the earth, and to every bird of the air, and to everything that creeps on earth, everything that has breath of life, I have given green plant for food." And it was so. God saw everything that he had made, and indeed it was very good. And there was evening and there was morning, the sixth day. Thus the heavens and the earth were finished, and all the multitude, and on the seventh day God finished the work that he had done, and he rested on the seventh day from all the work that he had done. So God blessed the seventh day and hallowed it, because on it God rested from all the work that he had done in creation. These are the generations of the heavens and the earth when they were created. I'm not sure about you and where you're at this point in the pandemic, quarantine, pondry, or wherever you're at. It's hopefully a good place to be. Where I am at is just very, very tired. This last week, it sort of like hit me like a wall. Like I needed to simply stop what I was doing and take a rest, right? And so this I don't pick these readings, right? And so this reading really hit home for me, is more so than some of the other ones, because I just really hit my wall. I always operate with lists. I'm a list guy, right? And I can always look ahead on my list and realize if I did an hour of work here, then I wouldn't have to do an hour of work there in the next couple of days. The problem is that hour of work that I saved, say, by doing work on a Monday. Something still pops up on a Tuesday or Wednesday where I end up doing that work. So I end up doing an hour more of work, which is good. I like to be productive and to get things done and to move forward and to feel helpful and useful and like I'm getting things done on my list. But eventually, that always catches up with me. And last week was that week where a couple of unexpected things happened. Where I was busier than normal and where I had been busier the week before simply because I was trying to get ahead for the week where all the other stuff came up. But here, God doesn't try to get ahead, does God? God says, I'm tired. I'm going to take a rest. So that's what I did. I mean, that's what I did. I did not do anything on my list yesterday. I was outside a lot and I was carrying heavy rocks, which sounds like work, but it wasn't up here in my office in front of a computer. I was carrying heavy rocks and redoing a flower bed and digging out dirt and getting in and involved with God's creation, which was work, but it was a kind of work that brought life to me in that instance. And we know that we need that type of work that brings life. And most of the time, these devotionals and up here in the office, all that does bring life. But at a certain point, you realize you need a break. And so last week was that break, and I'm thankful for the opportunity to actually take the break, take a day off, and to be outside with the family and to dig in the dirt and find worms. And it rained a whole bunch, so it was all muddy, and it was just great. And now we have a newly organized flower bed and we're planting some grass. And so getting involved with God's creation. So all of that to say, if you are tired, try and find a way to take a rest. And I get that in a time like this, that taking that rest is not as easy as it sounds, especially if you have kids or if you are dealing with other things that have come up from COVID-19, any sort of the life-altering things, that breaks are not easy to come by. But even if it's 10 minutes, even if it's half an hour, even if it means asking for help when you don't want to ask for help, when that's not natural to you, I invite you to do that and to take a rest, because life, even though it might seem less busy at times, is still high in anxiety in times like this. And anxiety makes people tired. And when things pop up, when things aren't quite going how you would like them to go, sometimes taking a rest is the right thing to do. And I can't believe I'm saying that, because I'm really terrible at doing that. So don't necessarily do as I say, not as I do necessarily. But in this instance, yesterday, I took a rest. So I will invite you to do that as well. Let's pray. Gracious God, we give you thanks for your creation, for the birds of the air, and for the water, and for the land, for the sun and the moon, and all the good things that you have made. And we especially give thanks for your ability to show us how to rest and how important that is. So help us to rest today, whether that's 10 minutes, half an hour, a whole day. Help us to rest because we know that in times like this, in times that are simply different than the times before, we need rest. So give that to us this day by showing us how to do it again and again. It's in your name that we pray. Amen. I will see you all on Wednesday then. And just a heads up, so you'll be getting an email about this, but Trinity Endicott will be meeting in person. Peace Colfax will not be meeting in person this week. But Peace Colfax, keep an eye out for a survey that is hopefully coming out with this devotional, asking you to answer a couple of questions about how you see the future of worship at Peace and when you might feel comfortable getting back to in-person worship. So keep an eye out for that. All right, bye.